Hello, Sitecore developers. My name is Paul Capinetti. This video is about a log analyzer that I created a while back now, probably late 2011, and I just got around to putting it on GitHub. So here it is. My GitHub user is pcapinetti / Sitecore Log Analyzer. So this whole thing started about a year ago when I was given a bunch of log files, started to sift through them in the normal way, trying to figure out what was wrong with a given website, and I'm sure everyone's had a similar situation. And what do? You open up your favorite text file searching program or even Notepad, try and look at exceptions and warnings and errors and whatnot until you find at least one thing wrong, and then you keep on going until the site's stable. So there's a better way. So I created this log analyzer here, and before I begin, shout out to Sitecore here, who did exactly the same thing. They put out a log analyzer on their site, which is actually pretty good. Here's what the installed log analyzer from Sitecore looks like. You get all sorts of graphs with times and little color-coded guys down there and everything. Get a pretty good view of what's going on in the system, and this is more verbose in terms of what happened on the system, and it's one way of looking at things. But if you want something that is a Sitecore application you could run inside of Sitecore and has a couple of extra benefits that I'll get into in the demo, then maybe you want to look into this my Sitecore log analyzer as opposed to this one, or maybe in addition to this one. So let me start just by showing the standalone. So this is the log analyzer UI, and looks kind of bland because you know, we don't need a lot of flash and jazz yet. So first thing you're going to do, pick a log file. So download a couple log files to the machine that this is running on, or install this in Sitecore and take a look at the local logs. So I'm going to pick one here, a small one, 70K. Quickly analyze it, and right away you see there are a lot. The big yellow bars here, you're not really sure what they mean exactly yet, but very short log, only 5-minute span it looks like. And this yellow bar here, hover over it and you'll see there's 411 warnings in the span of 1 minute there at 7:29. So a lot of warnings, and something you might want to look into. The blue bars are information. Hover over that, 176 informational logs, and you're going to see something similar to this anytime Sitecore starts. There's a lot of log entries to you know, building caches and whatnot. Here we see a couple errors too. Down below is a better view of what's going on here. So we have graphs or tables of the exceptions and the warnings grouped, and we have a sum count over here on the right side. So here's the 807 warnings we saw in the graph above. Product URL wasn't parsed, and anyone that uses SES might know what this means. You're probably not configured properly, so what we want to do is notify everyone else in the world that has this warning. We can post a comment on it. So what that actually did was went out to a central repository at sitecoreloganalyzer.com and put an entry in the database. Now we can upvote our own comment here if we want. Obviously, it's not going to allow you to do that more than once, and then you could switch to a downvote and go -1. I don't know why you do that, but it holds on to your IP address as your username, so you don't have to register or do anything like that. So now, next time someone has that same warning anywhere in the world using the log analyzer, they're going to see that the SES configuration is probably what's wrong. So let's clear that file out. Check another one. Here's one that looks somewhat healthy. A lot of blue. Little yellow, tiny bit of red. So here we see an exception that someone has commented on somewhere else in the world. So let's check. Not much help. It is a very generic error and could mean pretty much anything. So in this case, really we didn't see too much, but you could see where the value is if this turns into, there's a couple exceptions that seasoned Sitecore developers might see and understand, but the new Sitecore user is not going to know what to do unless they have a facility to communicate on the exact exception like this does. Another thing that you'll see in the analyzer is we don't want GUIDs or numbers to turn into separate messages. You want to group those all. So we have a couple different regex that we run on the messages to make sure that they all turn out looking somewhat similar. So we take out numbers and GUIDs and things like that and replace them with these little tokens. So say you want to see exactly what happened in one of the minutes that has a lot of stuff going on here. Let's pull up a different log that shows this a little bit better. Now this is a 3 megabyte log, slightly bigger, but not the biggest we've seen. A lot of warnings, and let's pick any one of these bars, and you could hover over and see 214 warnings. That's a pretty good one. So if we click, we'll go to the listing page for that minute and everything that happened in that minute. You'll get in this page full stack traces and full log entries. That we won't be cutting anything out, no GUID replacement, no number replacement, no anything like that. So again, looks like SES isn't configured properly on this site, so it's very apparent here. Could go back to the log analyzer and see, most likely there will be a comment down here on that warning. There you go. So the main benefit here is the visualization of the warnings, the errors, and the informational logs, the listing per minute, and the commenting in the central repository with upvoting and downvoting. If you go to my GitHub, there's a lot of things that I'd like to add here that I haven't had time to do. This really was the culmination of 2 all-nighters separated by several months. Started out as an MVC project, and then I moved to normal web apps so I could support old versions of Sitecore. I need the ability to delete or comment or flag a comment. Need pagination, a whole bunch of stuff that I put in my wish list here in GitHub. And just if you guys didn't believe me, here's the log analyzer inside Sitecore. It's really same thing. Got a little tab there, and something extra you get when you're in Sitecore is, here, I'll open a new one because you get this other button here. It realizes it's in a Sitecore install because it has an app setting for the the data folder. You could click this guy and just check out the local logs on the machine without having to download or choose file or anything like that. So you got the size, and we put the whole file path in there. So please clone the repo, fork the repo, check in whatever you want, and love to see what you guys do with it. Thanks very much.